Come vape with me. I have to apologize about my voice. Yesterday I didn't have one at all. So it comes and goes today. But I want to tell you about a cigarette, an electronic cigarette. And I'm calling it a cigarette because it looks like a cigarette. I was sent these free, but I want to be honest about them because they are looky-likey electronic cigarettes that look like cigarettes. They're pulse, they come in a box, and when you pull the wrapper off, it's got that real feeling of opening a pack of cigarettes. Inside is the battery. Oops, let me get it out. You'll see it's white. And then cartomizer, which is yellow, and a little condom on the top. And of course the battery screws on to the cartomizer. It is a cartomizer, it's not a cartridge and an atomizer. So that's the looky-likey pulse electronic cigarette that comes from a box that looks like a cigarette pack, and inside you get 2 cartomizers, 1 battery and 1 USB port charger for a computer. And this comes out very reasonably priced. It's 10 or 11 pounds for those things. So I've been using this, and this flavour on these cartos that I got in this box of vanilla, and I have to say this is absolutely delicious. So let me show you. Now, it's got a light on the end, an orange light, which makes it even more look-alikey. So let me tell you what I've discovered. The battery's 250 milliamp hours, about, I think it's 250 or 280. So that lasts for me 2 hours or just over 2 hours. But the cartomizer lasted me the whole day without losing any flavour. I was most impressed because I don't use cartomizers. I feel the padding and the wadding degrades the flavour. But I was impressed with this cartomizer that comes with the pulse electronic battery. I was impressed with the flavour. That is a very, very nice vanilla. As well as that pack, they sent me some refills, cartomizers, pre-filled cartomizers, in 2 flavours. One was champagne, which is quite pleasant, champagne, 1.6% nicotine, and the other one, unfortunately, was watermelon, which I have discovered I don't like. So I'm not very keen on the watermelon. The impressive part of this Pulse Electronics eCig is the fact that the cartomizer lasted me the whole day vaping, because when the battery ran out, for somebody who's trying to change brands and get off smoking proper cigarettes, to go on to an electronic cigarette that only lasts you 2 hours to 3 hours. In one party, you can stay at a party longer than that. So you do need a second battery. But you can buy a second battery from them. So you can get a Pulse battery for about £7. So you really need, if you're switching from smoking to vaping, you need 2 batteries, so that you have one to carry on with, instead of the whole thing stopping working and dropping you in a hole. And in that hole you will fill with smoking a cigarette. So I think that is dangerous. Some electronic cigarettes come with a charging case, so you can vape and then put your battery in the charging case in between vaping. or some other emergency backup system where you can carry on instead of being dropped in a hole. So although the vape from these cartomizers is very good, the battery not being 2 in the pack I see as a danger to anybody who thinks they'll just buy one of these packs and go to a party, because partly through the party the battery is going to let you down, and unless you're near a computer you have no way of recharging the battery. And if you're moving from smoking to vaping, you're going to have to put that in a computer and wait while it charges itself. Well, if you were anything like I was, I couldn't do any waiting, had to have a cigarette. So at that point I would have broken down and had a cigarette. So there's something very good about these cartomizers. I have opened one, and I find you could refill them with your own e-liquid if you wanted to, but they are filled very well, and the cartomizer lasts a long time. So this is the Pulse e-cigarette, and that's the box, and I believe that Alston Moor eCig shop are going to stock these as a starter pack for people who want to change from smoking to vaping. And they asked me to give my opinion. So I think it's very good for its price because it's inexpensive. There are some electronic cigarettes out there that people should be ashamed of putting on the market, but this is not one of them. If you get a second battery, then I think that you will have covered the danger zone, which is what do you do with a single battery while you're waiting for it to recharge, and when you're sitting there knowing that there's a delicious flavour in the cartomizer that you cannot source because you're waiting for the battery to recharge. I know these cartomizers last a whole, hang on, I'm trying to find my battery. I know they last a whole day for me because I vape them on an Elegance, which is a 900 or an 808 fitting. So these are not 510 fittings, but you can easily vape them on an 808 or a 900 fitting. The pre-filled cartomizer pack of 5, I think they're about £7-ish. And I would find that expensive, but then I've always refilled my own cartomizers right from the beginning. But if you want to change brands, if you want a good, inexpensive electronic cigarette that will help you make the switch, the Pulse is okay, and it's really much better than a lot of other electronic cigarettes, looky-likeys, that are on the market right now. So thank you for sending me that. It was fun trying them out, and I'm really impressed with the cartomizers. So here's to Pulse. Thanks for vaping with me.